This is German.
You got the hard one.
I've never.
I'm gonna look
German.
up how to pronounce this so I can.
Well,
make fun of you.
I did. I already did.
Oh, okay.
So tell me how I did.
Okay.
Unterhaltung.
Unterhaltung. That's pretty good. Why are you asking me how you did? I have no idea.
I don't know.
How you make it, how you wanna make it, how you make it.
You are not alone.
No, you are not. Well, Ernie, we are continuing our categories kick here. We are talking about categories again, but we're not bringing anybody on. We're not going through a list of one person's categories. We're talking about your categories, the community's categories. Specifically, we're talking about your weirdest categories that according to you. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
And they're the weirdest categories that we absolutely love and adore.
Yes.
So we're not making fun of these. We love them.
So what we did, we posted on Slack on our for the YNAB team members. We posted on YouTube, and I posted in the Facebook fans group. Check out YNAB fans on Facebook if you want to be a part of that huge group, which is very active and very awesome. Is there anywhere else we posted? Is that it?
I posted over on YouTube.
Yeah. We did a community post on YouTube. So we got like 200, 300 comments.
Yeah,
something like that.
Closer to 300.
So, if we ask you what your weirdest, and we just asked, that's what we asked. We said, what's your weirdest category? And we're going to talk about it on Budget Nerds. And you guys delivered. So we have come up with some categories. It was a lot to go through. So we did use the AI. We put it into ChatGPT and we're like, help us. Oh gosh. And it put it in some categories for us and helped us find some of the best ones. But I did skim through all of them, so there were a lot of really, really funny ones. But we're going to talk about a lot of them today. I think like up to almost 50 of them. So
yeah, we broke them down into 5 different categories, and we'll just kind of go through them category by category, talk through the individual categories, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
All right, well, should we just jump right into it?
Let's do it. We're going to start with the funniest ones. Now, these are the funniest ones considered by AI. So I might have come up with some different had I read through every single, all 300 comments, but we'll see
funny.
here.
They're all funny, but these are some of the ones that stood out. All right. We're just go right into the potty humor immediately.
You can't even say the words.
I know. Okay, so this is a family-friendly show. There are a lot of curse words in these categories because that's what you guys are hilarious. So, okay, my S-brain poo-poo mess up with a poo-poo emoji. Here we go. Mapfield wrote in, this was submitted a YouTube comment, said, my S-brain poo-poo mess up, where an overdrawn account fee is accounted for, sits at the top of my categories, and we've never overdrawn since. I love that.
I mean, it's super funny, but it's really interesting how it feels like it changed behavior.
Well, what I love is, so they haven't overdrawn their account, but they still leave that category there. And I think it's like, you could look at it 2 ways. You could be like, oh, they have it there like expecting to overdraft again, right? Or they have it there as kind of a reminder that like, I don't need that category. You know what I mean? Because I haven't overdrafted in a while, but it's just kind of nice to remember like where I've come from. I used to have a S-brain mess up and now I don't. But I just love it. Like, there was no thought into naming that category. It was just like they were mad and they just typed this out, and that's what came out.
First words that came out. Love it.
Yeah, which is great. All right, another potty humor. Here we go.
Another funny one. Oh, balls. That's it.
And that's the whole comment. Like, there's no explanation here. I don't know what this means.
Right.
Just absolute chaos.
I asked, is this a reference to the Goldbergs? Because I love that show. I don't know if you watch it, but the characters there always say "oh balls" when things kind of go off the wall.
Okay. Did you get a response or no?
No, I didn't hear anything. So,
all right.
Yeah, who knows what the purpose of that one is, but I love it.
I guess it's just if something goes crazy.
Yeah.
And there it is. So I like that. It's kind of a little emergency fund. That's my guess. But maybe if you're watching, person who wrote that, yeah, let us know more about it, or don't. Maybe just leave it mysterious. Okay, this one is so great because it has a story behind it. This is Drag Show Cash. Okay, so it's a literal cash fund just for drag show tipping. And I have to say, ChatGPT added slay. Like, this is how they summarize this: a literal cash fund for drag show tipping, slay. Which is it gets us. So okay, this was from Sherry, who Ernie and I met at FanFest, and I gotta tell you, Sherry stole the show for me because she was the best. She was like the best person we met.
Best.
just an absolute delight. She came with her son. I think she said she was 70, so she's an older YNABer, and she came with her son, who is my age. And she said that YNAB got them closer together because years ago, like 10 years ago, her son got her into YNAB, and it allowed them to talk more. And so it was kind of special because it brought them together in a fun way. And she's like a huge super fan now. And yeah, she wrote this comment: drag show cash, so I can get 1s and 5s for upcoming drag shows. There's one Saturday night in my town, so there will soon be a transaction. I love that. And it was so funny because I was just talking to her, like she told me so much stuff. We chatted for a long time. She got a tattoo, her first tattoo at 70 years old with her son. They got matching tattoos, which is adorable. And I remember she came to me, we were talking about all sorts of other stuff. And then she came up, she was like, I do play the matchy game. Because she was a big fan of the show. She's like, I do. So she knows the matchy game. If you know, you know. She's like, I do play the matchy game for one category because I need to have an online bank, but I want to have a brick and mortar bank so I can go and get 1s and 5s for my drag show cash because I go to drag show every week. And I was just like, I was completely surprised. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
because,
yeah.
like, it was so unexpected because, like, here's like an older lady who is just like just an absolute delight, like just the sweetest. And like, I just didn't expect it. It was hilarious. It made me laugh so much, and I thought it was wonderful. So,
and
shout out to you, Sherry.
We totally approve the matchy game in that instance.
I think that's a good use of the matchy game. So there you go.
Okay, here's another really funny one, and also potty humor.
Mm-hmm.
Crapper was full. So this is from Ryan, and I think it was over on Facebook, and it's for septic tank servicing. And it's one of those things, if you know, you know. It's
this is very literal, right?
It's from the Christmas Vacation movie where Cousin Eddie is dumping his RV toilet into the city sewer.
Oh, yes. I feel like I had... Like, I was like, this was some kind of a reference to a movie, and I know what it is now. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
It's a little bit before your time.
Yeah, a little bit, but like I have seen it. And
yeah, super popular movie.
Yeah, they included $8.91 and then $2.30.82, which I don't know what that means. Like, does it mean like they started at $8.91 and now it has that? Or
maybe that's what they put in every single month, and then it's just when it's full.
Oh, that's what it. Oh, so they put in $8.91. It's very specific.
Yeah.
When it's full, they have. So there you go. When the category is full, the crapper is full. So, there you go. They probably have it perfectly timed. They got it real nerdy. Anyways, that's such a good one. All right, this one, the size of the pie. So this is a shout out to Ernie, category group for paycheck holding. So I think they said it's a shout out to Ernie, but not anymore, Ernie, because you're not doing the holding category anymore, right?
No, and this is actually a phrase that I stole from another personal finance podcaster.
Oh, okay.
They use it to talk about their, the amount of money they receive every single month. They refer to it as the size of the pie, right? That's all I have all I have to work with for this month.
Why don't we read the comments? So Tara said, the size of the pay, heard from Ernie on Budget Nerds. Apparently, I didn't hear it from you on Budget Nerds because I don't know. Maybe I was distracted. I don't know. Or maybe it was a different episode. Has holding categories for each paycheck. Hi ho, hi ho. It's off to work we go for regular bills, auto payment, life insurance, etc. Mom's garden for savings categories, including banana stand and prudent reserve categories. Oh, so they have like all sorts of things because they got prudent reserve for me. So yeah, all sorts of cool stuff. All right, I like that. What's the next one here?
Oh, this is me. Banana stand.
Ah, yes.
I mean, this is a YNAB classic.
You see this all the time. There's always money in the banana stand. If you know, you know. It's a reference to Arrested Development, which Ernie has not seen, apparently, which I'm surprised you haven't seen.
Not the entire series. I've seen individual episodes.
You gotta like watch it from beginning to end because it's like, that's actually how I saw it. My sister watched it with her friends, and like I would watch like a random episode here and there, but it's so self-referential. You got to watch it from beginning to end. And in fact, I think that's why when it first came out, we're getting in the weeds on Arrested Development here. I think it didn't do very well. And then it was like a cult classic later because it was in an era of TV, early 2000s, when people didn't watch stuff all the way through, you know? So,
sure.
So like people would like watch a random episode and be like, what the heck is going on? What are these self-referential jokes that I don't even get? So the banana stand, so this family, they had a business where they sold frozen bananas, and how deep do I go into this? So, it's such a rabbit hole. So the joke is that there's one of the people was in prison, and he said he'd always say there's always money in the banana stand whenever like they have money problems, and everybody in the family thought that he meant like, oh, there's this little business they have, there's always money in it, right? And then until one day, because of a series of events that I cannot even explain, somebody burned the banana stand down. It was like on a boardwalk and a beach, and somebody burned down this banana stand. And then they told the dad, the guy in prison, this, and he was like, there's always money. There's money in the banana stand. And you're like, well, I know it wasn't really that profitable business. He's like, no, there's money lining the walls of the banana stand. He had literally stashed money in the banana stand. So anyways, there's always money in the banana stand, and they burned it down. So that's the joke. And so this is like for an emergency fund. Did I explain it well?
I'm assuming you did. Again, I haven't seen it, so
yeah. That's the idea.
I'm glad you did, because there were a lot of people who mentioned they have the banana stand category for those unplanned expenses, emergency type things.
All right. The wonderful thing about Tiggers. This was from Cody, who is one of our coworkers here, works in the marketing team. Absolutely delightful person, by the way. He said, I have a category for donating to animal things called The Wonderful Thing About Tiggers, which I think is lovely. And what's really cute about it is it's whimsical and stuff, but also Cody used to work for he used to work with big cats. Do you remember this, Ernie? He did a presentation about it.
Yeah.
He used to work for, I guess it was like a nature preserve or something. Anyways, they had big cats, tigers and lions and all sorts of stuff. And he worked for there. So I feel like this is an even more special thing for him. But I think it's the perfect whimsical category name for giving money to animal stuff. So that's great.
All right, another funny category.
More body humor. Here we go.
Yeah. Soggy bottom. And this is from another delightful teammate of ours, Ashley G. And this is a category that she has, her and her husband, for diapers, potty training, and waterproof sheets.
There you go. I love it. Yep. That's perfect, because it's not just for diapers. It's for all things soggy bottom, and that's what it's for.
And you know what? Like something like this where it's probably no fun spending money on. Boy, at least you can get a laugh out of the category name. I don't know. Exactly. I think that's worth something. I would get frustrated and constantly having to put more money in or cover overspending and like, oh my goodness. But
I am counting down the days. I mean, I got a 3-year-old who's still in some pull-ups. But no diapers. And he's pretty, I'm just counting on the days where I can delete that category because it will happen eventually, but it takes some time.
That was a while ago for my boys, but I remember that instance.
You do?
Okay. It was like a big pay raise, or it felt like it. But then it was
just a moment.
It was on to the next thing. It was on to like braces or something like that.
It all comes around, but it's still a moment in time, so I'm ready for that. All right. HOA fees paid with a bad attitude. And with a bad attitude's in all caps. Okay. So
Yeah.
I think this is self-explanatory.
Right. Diane is just accepting I'm never going to like paying these fees.
Yeah. So HOA fees paid with a bad attitude. So fun.
And then the final one we're going to mention here, ungodly water bill. This is from Lauren. For monthly payments to the utility company from when an undetected leak skyrocketed our quarterly bill.
Oh, I didn't read this one. I thought it was just like the regular water
Right,
bill.
you've
But
got
this is-
teenagers that take 45-minute showers 5 times a day.
Right.
You know?
But this was actually from an incident where
Yes.
and they have to pay over time. Oh,
like,
man.
can you imagine the horror of, like, you know, bill after bill? It's like a normal amount, you know, like $190, and then you get this ungodly amount. I don't know. That would just be like,
Well, I've had
what
that happen,
the-
but it was just a toilet leak. But they called me. My city called me and was like, this nice lady was like, hey, your bill is really expensive. And I was like, oh. And she's like, are you using a lot more water? I'm like, no, not really. And she's like, I think you have a leak in one of your toilets. And I remember thinking like, oh, well, there's this faucet in the back that maybe like that's, you know, it's like maybe it's this. And she's like, trust me, it's the toilet. And she told me to put Kool-Aid in the tank of all my toilets and see if like the colored water comes down into the bowl. So that's a little trick for you.
Yeah.
And it did, lo and behold, and it was a little leak that you couldn't detect because it was just going to the bowl, and then eventually it would flush it. But
Boy.
yeah,
Yeah,
pretty
those
cool.
undetected leaks just running for hours, days, weeks, months.
It adds up, man. It adds
Whew.
up.
Hope that's taken care of, Lauren.
I'm dealing with several leaks in my pool, and so I feel like I'm constantly filling it up right now. So I might get another call from the nice lady at my.
Hey, me again.
Yeah, it's fine though. We're dealing with it. All right, so that's all of our funniest comments, but I'm sure there's going to be more funny ones. But these are the most insightful, right?
All right, we're going to start off with eating out. Lots of exclamation points there. Versus eating out. I have 2 eating out categories. One is eating out and is for memorable meals due to quality or sharing with others. The other is eating out and is for meals that were just even if in retrospect. I like eating out and trying new things, so this helps me stay focused about why I eat out while leaving myself a little grace.
I love that. Yeah, it's just like 3 exclamation points or 3 dots. It's like, you know. And it's good to recognize this. I feel like we need a way in YNAB. I guess we have the memos, but I think there's more we could do where it's like you almost like rate how much you liked that transaction or didn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that's where what this person is going for is, and actually being able to track it separately and see how much you're spending on things that excite you and things that don't. That's good.
Yep.
All right. Next one, savings for siblings graduations, 2030 and 2036. So this is pretty far in the future, although
Yeah.
2030 is coming up. $30 a month for gifts to future grads. So it said, I have 2 younger siblings that haven't yet graduated high school. I have 2 categories for each of my siblings' graduations. The targets are set so that I'll have $1,000 by 2030 and by 2036. It feels silly to do so little for so long, but it'd be hard for me to give that amount of money without starting to save pretty early. Love that. Yeah. You know, like you can make a really big impact with just a little bit of savings every month. So that's pretty cool.
And so thoughtful too. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, here's another one from Sherry. Twinkle Fund.
This is great.
And I'm going to read the whole comment here because this story is, I love it. My sister Mickey passed away in 2011, told me once that she wanted to start a sparkle fund and use it for family, friends, and strangers. Her idea was to take money each month and either send it to someone as a fun surprise, buy a present and send it to them, pay the toll for the car behind you, pay the food for the people in the car behind you, give to charities, etc. Remember jokingly telling her that I could not afford to put a sparkle in someone's eye, but that maybe I could take a little money and put a twinkle in someone's eye. Mickey passed away without starting her Sparkle Fund. In 2020, during the lockdown, I started doing that as a way to put some good out into the world and to honor my sister. I've been doing it ever since. I fund it every month, and there have been many strange and wonderful transactions.
I love it. The Twinkle Fund. So yeah, anything you can do to put a twinkle in somebody's eye. So I told you Sherry was the best, right? Just absolute delight.
Absolutely.
There you go.
So inspiring.
Yeah, I love that. All right, next one. Emergency / spontaneity / crumbs. So this is a edited comment from Julia for Time. My weird category is more of a I'm being weird about breaking up my stuff I forgot to budget for category into 3 separate things. But if I don't name the specific purpose, I always feel like I'm doing something wrong when I spend from it. So this is really insightful because these are 3 separate categories. Is that my understanding?
Yep.
Okay, yeah. So they got the emergency fund, spontaneity, and then crumbs, right? So they have these 3 different things, a little more specific than just like a generic, stuff I forgot to plan for, right? And that can be really helpful they said, like, I always feel like I'm doing something wrong when I spend from it if it doesn't have a more specific purpose, right? Because if it's too broad, it almost feels like, oh, what if I need it for something else? No, if you get more specific, you know exactly what it's for. So
Yep.
That's great.
Another inspiring category, flowers / junk food. This is from Jessa over on YouTube. I have a flowers / junk food category. When I buy Ben & Jerry's or a coffee shop brownie, it comes out of there. But if I don't buy junk food and I have money to buy myself a nice bouquet at the end of the month. Oh, if I don't buy junk food, I have money to buy myself a nice bouquet at the end of the month.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
This reminds me of that category idea called, I can't remember what it's called, but Ben did it where he did a video about it where you pay yourself for doing chores or going to the gym or something like that, right? This is a lot like that where it's like, okay, I can use this freely for junk food and ice cream and stuff like that if I want, but I have the little reward built in where if I say, you know what, I'm going to say no to that, I can reward myself with something big later. So that's really fun. I like that. Okay, this one's great. This is a nerdy D&D reference. Campaigns and one-shots. Okay, so if you don't know...
Yeah, explain to me.
Yeah. So if you do tabletop RPGs, the campaigns are like continuous things. So like you with the same people, sometimes for people who play D&D one campaign for decades. Like you have the same character and they just, you go through and you have every week or however often you meet and you play, right? One shots are where you make a character and you just do one adventure together one night and then it's over, right?
Okay.
So that's the difference. And they said our joint money is in campaigns and one shots. Campaigns are for long-term fun, like board games. One shots is for one-time experiences like eating out. So that's a really good way to frame it. I like that.
Nice. All right, this one, I'm going to butcher this name. This is German.
You got the hard one.
I've never
I'm going to look
German.
up how to pronounce this so I can make fun of you.
I did. I already did.
Oh, okay.
So tell me how I did.
Okay.
Unterhaltung.
That's pretty good. Why are you asking me how you did? I have no idea.
I don't know. But it's that German word and then the river name.
Okay.
So we have a category named Unterhaltung and then river name that can mean entertainment. But here it is the fee for river maintenance. It's €8.50 per year. So we diligently assign 71 cents every single month,
nice.
Which I find extremely entertaining every time I come across that category.
I think it's really funny. Yeah, anytime you're like putting in like less than €1 in this case or less than $1, it's like it's almost like, why am I doing this? It's so silly, but it also feels really great,
You're a month ahead, and so at the beginning of the month you've got 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 at the top and ready to assign, and then it's just like 71 cents.
Yeah,
I love that too.
Could this person handle a €850 expense that they didn't plan for throughout the whole year. Yes, they could, but on principle, they are putting aside 71 cents every month.
Yep.
Okay, this one, mission maintain muscle mass. Love this. Lisa said, I have a mission maintain muscle mass category for supplements, protein, powders, pre-workout, etc. Women going through the change get it. Yeah, I think that's great because you could just call this like a supplements category, but that's boring. And it doesn't remind you why you're doing this, because I mean, that stuff like protein powder, that stuff is expensive, man. Like my doctor was like, you need to get more protein. And I started eating more eggs and meat and stuff, but I was like, maybe I should supplement those with protein powder. And then I just like noped right out of there because it's like so expensive. So I could see where you're like, oh man, I don't want to spend this money. It's so expensive. But if you say, hey, this is why I'm doing it, because I recognize I'm going through a time in life where I could lose this.
Yep.
It's worth it, So name your category something that's going to inspire you to enjoy that spending,
Yes, category names, they matter. And I mean, this goes all the way back to the Lee interview that we did. This might have been years ago, where that was kind of the first time where I really started to recognize how powerful naming these categories can be. I think he brought it to my attention with the emergency fund. He would go in, see that name, and it just kind of make him depressed.
Right.
But you can name it something different, maybe a little bit more lighthearted, and we're going to kind of get into some of those later on. Yeah. But the naming it matters. Love it.
Okay. Now we have the most unusual categories, and this requires a bit of explanation sometimes, so we'll get into it.
So here's a cat.
This is just funny. This person's, again, diapers category, but with no kids. They just said, diapers when I don't have any kids. This was a YouTube comment. No explanation. What's going on? Is this adult diapers? Like, what's the situation?
Diapers for grandkids? Or
maybe.
Is it for something else?
I don't know. They didn't explain. We need to know. The Kingslayer 8463. Let us know.
I love it. Carlos Kringle. This is from our teammate, Emily. Carlos Kringle category for the 12 days of Elf on the Shelf that Santa does for my adult husband every year at Christmas time, LOL.
This is adorable. I knew Emily did this. So Emily's another delightful coworker. And yeah, she doesn't have any kids, but she loves, she just loves all these things. And she loves celebrating. And yeah, she has Elf on the Shelf, and it's just, she moves it around for her husband. And it's really funny because I've met him at FanFest, and like, he's like me. Like, he's like a big guy, beard, and it's like,
big weightlifter.
Yeah. He's like a strong guy. I just love the idea that Emily's just delighting him with this little Elf on the Shelf. So it's great. All right. Water is boring.
Okay, I did a double take on this one. I'm like, did my wife Christy create this category?
Is she a big flavored water person?
Just hates regular water.
Okay. Yeah, this is the water is boring category. Lindsay said, for my flavored water additives and CO2 canisters, hydration is important, but See, I love a nice cold glass of water. I don't, because Caitlin will do this. Like, she puts lemon in her water a lot.
Yeah.
And I'll take a sip of her water bottle, and I'm like, like, I hate it. I don't like it at all. I think I'm just surprised, but yeah, just plain old water is great. I don't know.
And that water can be room temperature as well. I don't mind that.
That's right across the line. I don't like I like it nice and cold, and I use a lot of ice, and my wife makes fun of me. So,
okay, to go down this rabbit hole, I don't know if there's any truth to this, but I was told by a professional that when you put the cold water in you, your body has to heat it up to body temperature. Okay. So it's expending this unnecessary energy.
True.
So I'm like, okay, I'll try to save a little bit of body energy by just drinking.
Or I'm basically working out all day because I'm using up calories to heat up all this water. So there you go. There's an argument other way.
I guess it all depends on how you look at
it. Well, I'm spending energy to cool it down, and then spending body energy to heat it up. Yeah, I wonder how much energy that is over like the course of your life. Probably a lot. All right. Anyways.
All right. 2 cats in the yard. AI says cat category named after a song lyric. Poetic.
There you go.
2 cats. Let me read the comment here. 2 cats in the yard. That was all my cat stuff when I had my budget separated by life focuses.
Love that. 2 cats in the yard. That's fun. All right. We'll move on to this is a funny one. Paying for Elon's next yacht. This is for a Starlink subscription. Nicole wrote this in. I love that. It's just, paying for the rich guy to get more rich.
There we go. And then looks like we have 2 left. Oh, I love this one.
Oh, yeah.
Minnesota State Fair.
I thought you'd like that one. There you go. I hear it's a big deal.
It is a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
That's why the comment is Minnesota State Fair with an annual goal set. If you know, you know. Amy sent that in.
Love that.
And yeah, I mean, it's a big deal here in Minnesota. Well, I can't say here in Minnesota. I'm in Wisconsin,
right, but you're
we
close.
go to this. It's close enough.
Uh-huh.
And I hear the Minnesota State Fair, and I always think about Martha's Cookies.
Okay.
And this
this a thing?
is a thing, and it is incredible. So you get this massive bucket of cookies. It's just overflowing. It's really expensive. It's probably $20, maybe even more expensive now. And like the story goes, like everyone is buying these things. There's cookies all over the state fair grounds and stuff like that. But this place works 2 weeks per year.
Okay. Oh, wow.
And they will gross 4.5, 5, maybe more millions of dollars during those 2 weeks.
What?
I mean,
they're just
an
done the rest of the year.
insane amount. That's the story.
I love that.
I don't know if they go to other state fairs or if they do other things, but they make a killing at the state fair, and they've been doing this for decades.
Well, I grew up in Dallas, so that's where the Texas State Fair is, and it's a big deal. We got Big Tex. Have you seen Big Tex?
No.
Oh man, okay. Imagine this like giant barrel statue. It's like this statue of this giant man with a cowboy hat, and his little arm moves like this. And he's like, "Howdy, folks. Welcome to the State Fair." He says like, half off the fried dough, or like stuff like that. He's like, "Oh, there's a thing going on over there." It's just somebody talking to a microphone. One year it burned down, and you got to look this up. It's horrifying because it's like this man like smiling, and there's like fire. But they did rebuild the Big Tex, so he's there. But yeah, we have a great time at the Texas State Fair too.
This summer, and actually in about a month from now, I'm going to the Iowa State Fair, which I've heard is also a really big deal.
Oh, yeah.
So
I've heard that too. Yeah. Sound off if your state fair is a big state. Isn't there a musical? Our state fair is a great state fair. You heard that? There's
You're
a musical.
asking the wrong person,
There's a
Ben.
musical about this.
Sorry.
All right. Anyway, sound off. We can argue about whose state fair is the best state fair. All right. Fiat plus ferries. Okay, what is this about? Laurel says a vacation fund for trips using our Fiat plus the Washington State ferry system. Oh, I love that. Fiat and ferries. That's great.
All right, that brings us to the next group. Dark humor and morbid necessities.
I've been looking forward to this one.
I mean,
this was good. Ernie came up with this category name because we had a bunch that were like, I mean, they were funny, but like kind of in like a horrifying way. And so it didn't really fit in like the haha funny category.
Right. So, we're using humor to cope here.
Mm-hmm, exactly. So morbidity, dark humor. And you want to take that first one?
Yeah, this is Dead Grandparent Travel Fund.
So you get the idea now, right?
Yeah. And this is from Cindy. Cindy used to be a teammate of ours here on the support team. Cindy, hope you're doing well.
Yeah.
The comment, Dead Grandparent Travel Fund, sounds heartless, but when the grandparents were in poor health and nearing the end of life, we wanted to make sure we could take the whole family to be with family on a moment's notice if someone passed away.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it just, again, kind of using humor to just kind of lighten that emotional load a little bit there.
I mean, I wish I had this the past 5 or 6 years because I feel like you know, a lot of times like the folks that get older all at the same time, and like there's need for travel, like emergency travel. We had a lot of those moments. So even though it's kind of a coping mechanism category name, it's really a sweet thing that you have it. So I love that. All right, estate costs with a skull emoji. So this one says it's not so weird as so much as morbid. This is from Catherine, another one of our coworkers. The emoji does it. Maybe not what you're looking for. No, it is what we're looking for, Catherine. That's why we're on here. Yep, just a little skull emoji with estate costs. No explanation needed.
And then we have Doomsday Prevention from JC over on YouTube. Our emergency fund is named Doomsday Prevention. Probably not super weird, but we like it. Haha. And we like it too.
I love it. Okay. I'm going to have to censor myself a little bit here. Mother Nature is a bee. From Sheena over on Facebook said, I have one called Mother Nature is a bee, windshield repair, when a rock cracked it, snow shovels and ice melt, extra expenses related to a flood we had, extra fans when it got super hot outside, etc. Okay, so if it's anything at all related to just an act of nature that messed something up, you got it. I love it.
Circle of Life. This came from Megan over on Facebook. Circle of Life it includes sickness, death, wedding trips that are unexpected.
Okay. This one, I don't need to censor myself because I'm just going to say exactly what it says, but you know what it really means. When poop emoji hits the fund, not the fan.
The fund.
The fund. And I think you can understand what that means. It's just like a small emergency fund. That's really fun.
And then we have, is the world ending? So I have money to stock up when it looks like supply chains are going wonky again, created in 2020, of course.
There you go. If you need to pile up on some toilet paper for some reason, you got it, Jackie. So that's perfect. Adventures in elder care. Okay. Adventures in elder care for all the thankfully reimbursed spending I do for my parents' final quarter of life, from Megan over on Facebook. There you go. I think that's great, you know, because there's a lot of things that come up and it's good to be prepared.
And I'm going to add one to this group.
Oh, okay.
This is something Christy just texted me, almost kind of felt like out of the blue a couple weeks ago. Hey, we should start saving for burial plots.
I was just talking about how old you're getting, Ernie. Because I was like,
I'm turning 47 soon. Yeah,
well,
so
I literally had this thought just the other day because I was like, I'm about to turn 37, and I'm getting close to 40, and my first thought was, Ernie's getting close to 50.
Man, it hits different than 40, that's for sure.
Yeah, for real.
And I guess that's what you do around 50. You start thinking about, where do I want to be buried?
Adventures in elder care, indeed. Yeah, I have one of these too because I have my fixed bills that I love so much, my fixed bills category, and it has all the emojis describing what it's multiple bills, right? And one of them is just a little skull emoji. And you want to guess what that's for?
The life insurance.
The life insurance, right?
Yeah.
Because it's really death insurance, right? So, so that's my little morbid coping mechanism there. There you go. Okay.
All right, here is our final group.
Short one.
Stealth YNABing. And I'm so glad we have this one because this is just super practical and useful. A lot of times people are asking us, how do I hide certain things from my partner, like gifts and surprises, or, from the family as well? So maybe these categories will give you some ideas.
Yeah, this is great. Because one thing that's great about YNABing with a partner is like you have total transparency about all your spending. But one of the problems with YNABing with a partner is you have total transparency of all your spending. So how do you hide something nice like a gift? Well, we have a few ideas here.
First one, hockey team roster.
Okay.
That's the category name. This came from Jason, our teammate here at YNAB. Hockey team roster was a category and corresponding Google Doc.
Love it.
So total budget nerd here. That I created as a way of hiding everything related to a surprise engagement plans from my then girlfriend.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, it's just something that that your girlfriend is probably never going to look at because they don't care, right? So,
yep.
So there you go. Home security, quote unquote. Again, another engagement plan hiding thing. This was from Galen, who wrote on Facebook, I had a category called home security when I was stealthily saving money for a ring to propose to my now wife. because Ring camera security. It worked for me. Okay, all right. I can see the connection. Security, Ring camera, Ring. Got it. Yeah.
I like that. And then the final one, 'cause I want it.
Mm-hmm.
I have a 'cause I want it category. I use it when I don't want to have to explain my purchases to my husband. Laugh emoji.
Well, I think it seems like you did explain your purchase to your husband, Anna. It's 'cause I want it. I mean, what other reason do you need? There it is.
Perfect.
All right, that's all we got. There were like so many more comments though. So thank you so much for everybody who wrote in. And thanks for your ideas. A lot of them were really insightful and a bunch were just really funny. So that's fun.
I loved this episode, Ben. Honestly, I feel like I know the YNAB community better because their personalities have come out in these categories, hearing their stories and just kind of the funny way they think about things, the inspiring ways they think. So, boy, I loved it. Just absolutely loved it.
All right. Well, we've been reading comments this whole time. Why don't we read some more? Let's do some YNAB Wins.
Let's do it.
All right. I have one who wrote in an email from Caitlin, and Caitlin told us a whole bunch of information about, there's a bit of a backstory here. So I'll give you a summary of that and then we'll get into the win. Basically, after separating from the Army, Caitlin didn't get the job she was guaranteed, and she was pregnant and also lost out on maternity leave. Okay, so having a hard time. And then she wrote this. My husband and I were faced with unexpectedly going from 2 incomes down to 1, the lesser of our 2 incomes at that, with a baby on the way. Oh, and did I mention we already had a 9-month-old at the time with a little upside down smiley face, which is like my favorite emoji. After frantically sending out what felt like 100 applications in a month, my husband and I realized it was not realistic for me to start a job now 8 months pregnant with little to no chance of getting paid maternity leave. Yeah, that's tough. Thanks to YNAB, we were already 3 months ahead in our budget. So YNAB pretty much gave me the maternity leave I needed, which bought us time to figure out what the next right thing would be for our family. After being home with my 2 under 2 Irish twins for a few weeks, I told my husband I wasn't ready to go back to work full time and wanted to be home with my babies. Because we were so far ahead with our budget, it bought us time to make the right decisions for our family. Instead of spending my maternity leave looking for and settling for a job I didn't want, I was able to apply to grad school. I'm now currently using my GI Bill benefits to fully fund my master's degree, which, while also paying me a housing allowance since I'm a full-time student. I just finished my first semester with a 4.0. Well, way to go, by the way.
Awesome.
202 and a 4.0. Wow. Thanks, YNAB, for giving us peace during a very unexpected, difficult time. I love that, Caitlin. Because, yeah, you would have had to rush into a job that wasn't right for your family, or maybe even not. Maybe it wasn't the right time to work full time. So, yeah, you had the time, you had the space to really decide what you wanted and do the right thing for your family. That's awesome.
Love it. My win comes from Shira. Shira emailed in probably a number of months ago, maybe even over a year ago. I've been using YNAB religiously for 3 years, ever since my son was born. After a lifetime struggling with money management, I am a true fanatic, and I had the most gratifying YNAB win in April 2024. My son and husband ended up getting the flu, and my husband was unfortunately hospitalized for almost a week with pneumonia. It was a horrible time. But money was not my stressor. Due to my years of careful YNAB budgeting and help from family and friends who dropped off lots of food in our time of need, I was able to take almost 3 weeks of paid and unpaid time off from my job to take care of my family, pay for all of our medical bills and other illness-related expenses, tissues, Tylenol, cough drops, etc. Wow. And still had money left over in April to contribute to our savings towards a down payment for our first house.
Nice.
Before YNAB, these expenses would have felt unexpected, and I never would have known that I could have taken some unpaid time off with little impact on our long or short-term financial health.
Way to go,
My
Shira.
goodness, that is awesome. I mean, this is probably the theme that I think I hear the most in these kind of stories is margin.
Yeah.
YNAB gives them that extra margin. So, and with that margin, they have options and stress levels go way down.
Yeah, it's not just about like, it's not even just about reaching big goals. It is, but it's also about being able to make the right decision, not because you have to rush into a decision, because you have the margin of money, but you also have the margin of time before you need to make a choice, So I love that, Shira. What a great story.
Awesome wins. Awesome categories. Thanks again for hanging out with us for another hour, folks. We're going to see you in 2 more weeks.
See you then.